Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is the Locker Gnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of tech news, gadget views, and answers that you can use. My dog Wicket has decided to join me for today. It's because he found out I had this can of soup. It's not for you, dog, but it might be for you, because inside sits $50,000. Well, not inside this can, but Campbell's is hosting Hack Your Kitchen. More information on hackyourkitchen.com. If you have an idea of how you can use Campbell's API to develop an application to make dinner more interesting, well, submit it there. hackthekitchen.com. I'm one of the judges. You guys wanted gadgets? I got gadgets. Honey, what the hell is this thing?
It's a UV light.
And why do we have one?
To cure your nails. With a special nail polish, it's a gel polish.
All right, we're going to see if this thing works. Just one. Well, it doesn't look bad. So now I stick my hand in there?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
For 1 minute.
Now I stick my hand in here for 1 minute. What are you laughing at?
You're doing it wrong.
It's kind of heavy.
It should make the gel hard. It's a soak-off polish.
You're using terms I am completely unfamiliar with.
That means it can't come off because the soak-off hasn't been mailed yet.
So does it beep when it's done?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It turns off by itself.
Now can you use this for regular nail polish too?
No.
Oh. Elsewhere in the news, how to get Movie Maker for Windows 8. Windows 8 is not that funny.
I like how you continue while you're...
Well, what am I supposed to do? Just let this thing dry and do nothing? The good news is, even though Windows Movie Maker doesn't come with Windows 8, you can still install it on there. Okay, so it's baked on now?
Pretty much.
Wait, so how do I get it off?
With the soak-off that's coming in the mail?
We don't have it yet?
No. At least it's pretty. It's blue. It's a boy color.
It's got f***ing sparkles. Well, there you go. A gadget view for today. A thermal spa. Nuno Vieira submitted a question on lockergnome.com for me to answer. He's considering buying a tablet this year, but wondering when the best time would be. On average, I would say any time's a good time to buy a tablet, but generally speaking, the best time to buy is either when the prices drop or a new one is released. If you've been waiting this long to get an iPad, you might wait a little while longer and Apple may refresh the iPad line, but then again, they may not for months. The iPad's good to buy anytime, especially the previous generation. The iPad's an example of a product that would be good to buy any time of year and something that's not likely to drop in price anytime soon, unless, of course, you're talking about the previous generations. And here's the thing, you may be holding off for nothing. I mean, how often have you seen an update to a product line thinking, wow, it really wasn't all that interesting? You're never going to hear me complain that something's too fast or faster than the previous generation, just that we don't know what to expect with the next generation hardware from any company. So don't hold off on the promise that a product might be something that it may never well be. Doug Wilson submitted this question on lockergnome.com. After watching CES and seeing some of the new tech in phones coming out, I've decided that my run with Virgin Mobile may be over. So what should I switch to? There's a loaded question because every single carrier has something different to offer. What I always recommend is talk to people you know in your area and ask them what way... I was going to say ask them about their experiences with the local carriers, but I think the fumes got to me. Give me base coat.
Not working.
You f***ed it up? She f***ed up my nail. Nate Thibodeau, aka Simba, submitted this tip to me the other day, and I thought it was interesting enough to share with the rest of the world. He suggested that you can go into your video card settings and tweak the way video performance works. Now, this will work no matter what your video card happens to be. So if you want to automatically increase the sharpness of the videos playing back on your GPU, you just move a slider, depending, of course, on what your video card and its software happens to be. Don't be afraid to explore. I used to tweak video card settings all the time until I realized, I'm wasting a lot of time. Ian McNamara emailed me the other day, chris@pirillo.com by the way, to tell me that his school has installed a series of smartboards, but that none of the teachers know how to use them. He hypothesizes that the school district would have been better off getting every one of the students a tablet computer, and being done with it. I think smartboards are rather amazing pieces of technology. Heck, I would love to have one here in my home office. But the bottom line is, the teacher's role is starting to change in society. How much do you learn in the classroom, or did you learn in the classroom, compared to how much you learn today using YouTube? I mean, in many ways, I'm a teacher. How many things have you learned from me? I mean, just by sharing my experiences with you. What does it matter that we're not in a traditional classroom, so long as you're learning and that you love to learn? I do believe, and this is me holding on to an English education degree, that we are always going to need someone to fulfill the role of a teacher. That person is necessary. If I was a computer, could I explain things the same way? Would I have facial expressions that match these? Diane has facial expressions too. Hey, that's a finger expression. So no matter how much technology you cram into the classroom, it's gonna do you no good if the teacher really doesn't understand it. Or, worse yet, if the student knows it more. Or, worse yet, if the student understands it more. Google's Nexus 7 outsells Apple's iPad in Japan over the holiday season. Well, that doesn't come to any surprise to me, because this thing is affordable. $200. I'm not going to say that Android is the reason people bought it. It was likely because of price point, and it's a tablet. Inevitably, open systems are going to win, and the more affordable they are, well, the more they're going to catch on. So, good job, Google. Lenovo announces ThinkPad Chromebook for schools. There we go. More technology for our classrooms, and I just hope people know how to use them. And I love the fact that the Chromebooks are making an invasion, if only to get people less addicted to Microsoft Office. Asustek in talks to offer Windows 8 phone. I know! I was just saying that people don't want to buy Windows Phone 8s now! Windows 8 phone? Windows Phone 8? What the hell is Microsoft calling it this week? To fight Amazon's black box, iPad publisher Inkling opens its 400 ebooks up to Google. Why should it matter what platform you choose to use? Everything should be available anywhere. Oh, and speaking of Amazon, apparently they're going to start selling MP3s by way of their iOS app. Fine by me. I use Amazon Cloud Player to manage my MP3s, even though I don't really have a lot of MP3s to manage. I usually rely on Spotify or Pandora to listen to music, and I really don't pay a lot for those. People still track MP3s? The BlackBerry 10 is drawing a crowd, but will it draw you in? Are you interested in the BlackBerry 10? I'd like to get my hands on one, if only to see what RIM has up its sleeve. They've got quite a row to hoe. I didn't think it would be possible, but they're almost behind Windows Phone 8. 8 phone, Microsoft, whatever the hell. By the way, I'm not sure if you caught this in the vlog the other day. I got this as a gift from one of you. It was something that was created on Quirky. It's a cable organizer. I love these things. Now, I've never had this thing in particular, but I mean gadgets that help keep me better organized. See, I can slide my USB cables in there and then set this down on the desk as somewhat of a paperweight, and those cables won't fly all over the place. Works for me. Plus, it kind of looks like the electrical generator in The Empire Strikes Back when they were on the planet Hoth. Our question of the day brought to you by GoDaddy.com. If you want to save money on any purchase on GoDaddy, email me first, chris@Pirillo.com. I'll send you a list of my coupons. And the question was asked 14 hours ago by Decolt Tech on LockerGnome.net. Where can I get royalty-free music videos? My suggestion for you? Archive.org. Pretty much everything there is under a Creative Commons license. Now, you've got to adhere to that license, but that would be my #1 recommendation. You can't just go to YouTube and search for a music video and take that. I'm careful about playing music in my videos even if I know it's royalty-free. And believe you me, nothing is further from royalty than me. This is Chima! I got a Lego Chima set from one of you guys on the Amazon.com wishlist. It comes with a Leonidas minifig. We all have our things. Let me put it to you another way. This will eventually lose its value. This, maybe not as much. This is a toy. This is a toy. You can touch this toy. And you can touch this toy too. For eventually collecting dust. Okay, obviously I'm being a little flippant in comparing these two things. I just happen to enjoy Lego. It's part of my geekiness. I mean, my God, do you only have one dimension to yourself? Gadgets can be fun, but one single gadget does not a complete geek make. Let your freak flag fly! And if you let it fly with us, we really appreciate it. Thanks again for all the likes, all the shares, all the questions you guys are asking. They're great questions, by the way. If you haven't stopped by LockerGnome.com lately, you might want to take a look. We try to make it a little easier for you to navigate. And of course, we appreciate you subscribing and following across all of our social media connections that we plant in every other pixel on pages. Thanks again for being a good part of our community. We'll see you later.